From across our own international network, we deliver audit, tax and advisory services to some of the world's largest players in the mining and resources sector.
Whether you are looking for investors, seeking to implement more sustainable operations, undertaking a modern slavery statement, or considering your tax structuring, our team is well placed to assist you.
I'm Romina Bratton, Deputy General Manager of the Mineral Resources and Energy Division of Sumitomo, Australia. Let me just share this presentation with you. A brief background about Sumitomo, Australia. Ultimately, its parent company is Sumitomo Corporation, which is a leading Fortune 500 trading and business investment company, with its head office in Japan and global operations spanning across 66 countries and regions. Sumitomo has business activities in a wide range of industries, as reflected in its core business units. The business philosophy of Sumitomo is to build its business that will benefit both the company as well as society. To bring this philosophy alive and to achieve a more sustainable growth with society, Sumitomo undertakes to address key social issues as part of its business consideration. Climate change is one of those key issues, and as part of Sumitomo's commitment, we aim to make our businesses carbon neutral in 2050. Sumitomo will be working to develop technologies and business models that can create sustainable energy by reducing CO2 emissions and achieving negative emissions. Initiatives include promoting the use of renewable energy. We'll also be working to develop CO2-free energy and fuel, such as hydrogen. As one can see from the diagram, the engagement in renewable energy and hydrogen projects is part of Sumitomo's wider holistic initiatives to achieve a carbon-neutral society. Sumitomo already has an extensive portfolio of renewable energy projects, utilizing solar, wind, geothermal heat, and hydro resources. We'll aim to shift more of our resources to renewables and other energy sources with low environmental impact. Basically, we expect the demand for cleaner energy to grow in the medium term and to long term. Declining costs and improvements in the efficiency of renewable energy technologies will encourage the shift towards renewables. This will further accelerate with the development of more effective energy management and storage solutions, enabling renewable energy to be supplied in a more stable and reliable way. One of Sumitomo's longer-term initiatives is to produce CO2-free or clean hydrogen. Depending on the hydrogen production process, the use of renewable energy and carbon capture and storage technologies will be essential to produce clean hydrogen. It's anticipated that Sumitomo's participation in the hydrogen value chain will be quite extensive, with participation in production, transportation, storage, and demand creation. Our strategy is to take a staged approach, starting small with initial production scaled to meet local demand. Applications we envisage are in transportation and mobility. For example, fuel cell vehicles, such as cars, buses, trucks, and forklifts. Although small, this will be the starting point of becoming a hydrogen-based society. And in 5 to 10 years' time, we expect to scale up production to reach commercialization, with increased local production that can be used to generate heat and electricity for homes and industries. We see clean hydrogen becoming the fuel of choice in partnership with renewables to provide 24-hour energy availability. to be stored and used as a backup power source to produce electricity when and where required. As technology advances, we expect distributed energy resources to become part of the landscape. And the final phase of our strategy is to mass produce to cater for both domestic and export demand with a broader range of applications across multiple industries, aiding efforts to decarbonize industries. As we engage in the different phases of the hydrogen supply chain, Sumitomo aims to be a solution provider, engaging in various roles that can add value to the projects, ranging from finance arrangement, project management, market and demand creation, as we have access to potential hydrogen buyers, such as power utilities and industrial manufacturers, for examples. Sumitomo can also engage as an information platform as we work collaboratively with private and public institutions. As indicated, clean hydrogen projects are longer-term initiatives, and we are entering the initial phase of developing a new industry. And in order to support this, public and private sectors will need to work collaboratively to promote technological developments and integration across the supply chain. The developments and efficiency improvements in hydrogen technologies will help lower costs, and this will be necessary to enable hydrogen to compete with existing energy sources. Government policies, regulations, and support will also play significant roles in developing the industry. Policies that can encourage private sector investments, regulations and guidelines that can provide clarity within which the industry can develop and operate, incentives or mandates that can promote the use of hydrogen technologies or help develop the supply chain. In general, governments will play an integral part in promoting the use of renewable energy and in developing the infrastructure needed to support an emerging hydrogen industry. Sumitomo has various hydrogen projects in the pipeline, 2 of which are in Australia. Our studies show that Australia has a number of competitive advantages in producing hydrogen, underpinned by its rich renewable resources that are essential to produce clean hydrogen. It has well-developed infrastructures in the form of transmission and distribution networks. It also has well-developed market infrastructures and local industries that can be potentially the basis for domestic demand. Australia is also well placed geographically in relation to potential export customers in Japan, South Korea, China, and Singapore. Last but not least, Australian governments are supportive of developing a hydrogen industry. Sumitomo is currently developing a hydrogen ecosystem in one of Australia's regional centres. The identified region encapsulates these competitive advantages. We are now in discussions with potential hydrogen off-takers to commence production at a commercial scale. Sumitomo is also participating in the HESC pilot project to develop an international hydrogen supply chain to safely produce, transport, and store hydrogen from Australia to Japan. In summary, Sumitomo's commitment to address climate change is driving us to engage more in renewable energy and to develop clean hydrogen as part of our initiatives to become a carbon neutral society. These are aligned with Sumitomo's sustainable growth strategies, which are also consistent with strategies employed by various countries, including those of Japan and Australia, to achieve harmony with the global environment and to contribute to the development of local communities and industries. Having similar objectives and strategies, and by working collaboratively, will certainly bring global society a step closer towards becoming a hydrogen-based society. Thank you for your attention.
From across our own international network, we deliver audit, tax and advisory services to some of the world's largest players in the mining and resources sector.
Whether you are looking for investors, seeking to implement more sustainable operations, undertaking a modern slavery statement, or considering your tax structuring, our team is well placed to assist you.